How are you?
Hi, Queen. How are you?
I'm great.
Good. Good to see you. Let me tell you. Okay, what are you doing?
I am
Is that a
making
dough?
Yes, I'm making sourdough bread from scratch.
Oh my gosh, I love that. Are you following a recipe? For
I
those
am.
Okay, got you. Is this something you love to do, or is it something you're
I,
trying for the first time?
this I'm trying for the first time. I love cooking, but the sourdough I'm trying for the first time.
Okay, wonderful. So, before we get started, where are you? Where are you doing this quarantine? Where are you in the world?
I'm back in LA.
Okay, back in LA, because I understand that home is Maryland.
Well, I'm from Maryland,
Okay,
but I've been in LA. I moved to LA in 2012.
okay, yeah.
Yeah, I moved to LA in 2012, and then I moved to New York for 2 years for my show, and now I'm back in LA.
Wonderful. Okay. Not a bad place to be during this time.
No, are you in Atlanta?
No, 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 no. It's funny. I also lived in New York. I lived there for 10 years, but I moved to LA 4 years ago. So
Oh,
I'm in
you're
LA.
in LA.
We're on the same coast.
I've always thought because Jack Manning that you were in Atlanta.
I'm so glad you mentioned him because when I had thrown you up on my story on Follow the Lita, he is one to quickly respond like, "Oh my gosh, that's my little sis from Hampton."
Yeah.
You guys, let me tell you, you guys seem to be like this well-connected family. Whenever he speaks of people he went to school with, it's kind of like it's like a team. It's like a solid tribe, and I
It
appreciate
is.
it.
It really, really, really is. And I remember I saw that a long time ago. He took pictures of you. They were just like
Yeah, he's been taking
beautiful.
pictures of me for a couple of years. I mean,
Yes, beautiful, gorgeous pictures.
oh well, thank you.
Yes.
Speaking of which, I'm going to compliment your hair because I
Thank
am a
you.
big fan
Thank
of the
you.
Goddess Lux myself.
Thank you.
Do you do it yourself?
Usually I can do it myself. These I got done, but
Oh
yeah,
wow,
usually I can
nice.
do it myself.
All right, so a woman of many talents, right? So before we get sort of stuck into the questions that I have prepared for you, and let me say this: I am pronouncing your name correctly when I say Javicia.
Yeah, Javicia.
Perfect. All right.
Yeah.
I know if Jack is listening, he'd be like, "I told you, gotcha." So I always start with this. Number one, I do appreciate you making time to speak with me. We shared this obviously live and then
Thank you for
again
having me.
on different pages. So thank you so much for your time. Before we get started on who you are, what you do, and all these great things that we're doing during quarantine, I ask people this one simple question. And it is, how would you, Javicia, define yourself without mentioning what you do for a living?
Yeah. You said one word?
Well, how would you define yourself? If that's one word, several sentences, how would you define who you are as a person without mentioning what you do?
Okay. I would describe myself as super imaginative.
Love it.
Very energetic, very positive.
Yeah.
Maybe sometimes annoyingly positive. Which I have recently learned some people don't always want to hear everything that's positive. Super loving. And super sensitive.
Okay, wonderful. Wonderful. I love that. Beautiful. That is actually a really beautiful answer. I get like so many different variations of an answer when I ask people that. Some people actually find that really difficult to answer because people are so attached to what they do. So I think that was beautiful. Thank you for answering that.
Yeah, of course.
So a bunch of questions. I understand you're a busy woman, so we're not going to take too much of your time.
It's okay. I don't mind. It's fun.
Perfect. So we'll get stuck into some questions. Now you're currently on God Befriended Me, Family Business, as a co-host, and you star as Karina in the Netflix film Always a Bridesmaid. But a lot of people know you from Chef Julian, right? And on Black and Sexy TV, I should say. How did working on the web series prepare you for shows that are currently on Netflix?
I feel like really okay. The dope part about Black and Sexy is that we do a lot of stuff that is ad-libbed. Ad-libbed. which means like we'll get the synopsis of the scene and we know where the scene needs to go, but then we'll just kind of have conversation.
Yeah.
We'll have talking points that we do have to get to, but overall it's just about like having the conversation. It's just about having the conversation, and they film us have this conversation, this very organic conversation. And that allowed me to really understand the power of chemistry and connecting with people. So it's like after that, even though now I moved into something that's more scripted, it's always been important for me to find that chemistry with the person. And if that means sometimes just talking with the person, if they allow me to, just talking with them about whatever the scene is. Like, let's say the scene is me and this guy, I'm picking him up from jail, and I need him to tell me what happened. The lines are there, but like, let's just talk about it. You know what I mean? I think that it created this understanding of the dialogue beyond just what the words say. So that's one thing that Black and Sexy did that it taught me. It also created this really amazing community, because it's a lot of us out there that are still doing stuff and that started there. There's this lady named Numa Perrier, and she did this film called Jezebel that's on Netflix now. And then there's Courtney Burrell, who played in Chef Julian, who did the Tyler Perry movie, and there's Will Catlett, who's in Love Is. There's Issa Rae, who has her show. There's Lena Waithe, who has everything she has. Yeah. So there's a lot of Black and sexy people that are now in the industry, and I think it did definitely create a network for us to kind of like be able to support each other, but also kind of be able to see that if a person that was in my shoes or is in my shoes is there, that means that I can be there too.
Yeah, perfect. I love that. Perfect answer. Now, how do you manage to film God Friended Me in New York and then Family Business in LA on both coasts? How was that managed, girl?
I mean, that had a lot to do with Family Business. They were willing to fly me out every time I had a free moment. So every time I had a free second, Family Business flew me to LA from New York. So I was literally filming both at the same time. Let's say I filmed God Friended Me Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Then I fly to LA. Like they worked with me so much that they changed their filming schedule from Monday to Friday to Tuesday to Saturday so that they can get me on the weekends.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Look at God.
Yeah.
Perfect. So for the most part, really seamless, only you were spending a lot of time flying coast to coast. Yeah,
I was spending a lot of time in the air.
Yeah.
Like a lot.
So listen, Javicia, for those who have aspirations to becoming an actor, what would you share? Perhaps some advice, some tips, or those kind of really trying to break through the next plateau to really be have some type of notoriety in the business. What kind of tips would you share as a notable actress at this point?
I think one of the main parts that I feel that I even still live by to this day is to always constantly perfect your craft. Like no matter where you are in your journey, whether you're just starting or you've been in it for years, I think you should always be working on your craft. I think there's no such thing as you don't have anything to do. Like there's always something that you could be working on that can make you. I always like to use that Kanye song, stronger, better, faster, whatever, however it goes. It's a really dope mentality, which is that no matter what, you have to constantly be working on your craft because one, the way that the world works, there's so many people that are doing that. You don't want to miss out. But two, because why? What else is there to do? This is what we do for a living. Why not be amazing at it?
I see, and that sort of goes across all industries, really. Honestly, yeah. Now,
all industries.
As you say that, it reminds me. I have a client who I train personally. That is an actress, and I remember her. Well, should I say like an aspiring actress? And she takes, acting class and things of that nature, which I'm sure you're familiar with. And she says every now and again, there's a very, very notable actress that pops in and I guess does a tune-up So I was actually surprised, even though you are literally, what I would consider A-list celebrity, you're still going in and working on your craft, which I think is humbling to know, and also it makes sense. It makes sense.
I want to be one of the greats, Lita.
Yes.
Like, I want to be our generation's Merle, our generation's Carrie, our generation's Viola. Like, I want to be one of those greats. So what that means is sacrifice hanging out with your friends, sacrifice going to the parties, sacrifice all of that stuff for what you're really passionate about. And I love what I do, and I just want to be really, really good at it.
I love that. It kind of segues into my next question regarding your industry. How do you, as a busy working actress, find balance between your work life and your personal life? Is there one, or are you really sacrificing now in your craft that it's like literally taking up 99% of your life? How do you find balance, if any?
I don't know. I don't know. I think, I guess I haven't had to try to figure it out, because everybody that knows me knows, there's things that I definitely, if I can support, I will support. But if I'm working, my friends understand that I'm working, and my partner does music, so he understands the sacrifice of artistry before everything. But is there really a sacrifice? I still got to come home. Well, yeah. I can tell you this. I know for the 2 years I was in New York, I'm in a relationship and he was still here and I was there.
Oh, wow.
So I guess that's an example of like sacrificing my personal life for my career. But I'm happiest when I'm doing what I love, and you wouldn't want me to be with you and not be happy.
Right. Exactly.
And I wouldn't want anyone to be with me and not be happy. So I think that I'd rather they go do what they love and then just come home when they're finished and be happy, versus be with me all the time and be miserable because they're not doing what they love.
Right. Which I understand completely. I definitely work from that mindset. But there's a lot of people out there that find it really difficult to kind of be in a relationship and sort of redefine what being in a relationship means, right? Yeah. As someone like yourself and your partner, obviously two creatives, and so you respect the craft and what you need to put into the craft. But like, and I not to call out any industry or occupation, but sometimes, say for instance, the school teacher is very much, you said, working a set of hours, coming home and seeing their spouse, and that's what it is to be in a relationship. But so when you've got somebody that comes from a quote unquote, a typical, say, corporate job, and then you're doing life with a creative, that causes a lot of problems. And I know that because a lot of people reach out to me like, how do you and your kind of guy figure out life? And it can be tough. It can be tough. But that's that sacrifice that you speak of. It is.
And then it's also this thing of like, whoever's for you is for you. And so if it's a person that's for you, then they understand and they value every part of you, not just the romantic at home 9 p.m. to 2 a.m. part. My mom call it, which includes craft and what we do and how much we love to do what we do.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. I love that. So if I'm taking away anything from what you just said, is that if you're listening, if you find yourself in a relationship where you're really struggling to kind of prove your love by having to sacrifice what you truly love as an individual and getting into that relationship, I think it's like really important to reevaluate like who you choose to spend your time with, because it's important. Different lives and energies need to align with purpose and with passion and respect. So I love that you mentioned that. I appreciate it.
But you know what I realized? It's somewhat mathematical or scientific, right? And it's like this. If you're aligned with your purpose and you're really walking in your purpose, and I believe your passion leads you to your purpose, and you're walking in your purpose, the ones that aren't good for you, that aren't there for you, they'll weed out. They'll weed themselves out because they can't. It's like they can't coexist with your purpose.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like a fish, like it can, if you put it in another water without it acclimating itself, it can't live. Like, you're going to constantly move, and whoever's for you is going to move with you and be supportive of your move. And at any point that they're not able to be supportive, they'll die out. Not literally, but just in your perspective and in your journey. So I've never really been worried about that because I've watched, not even just in relationships, like partners, but even with friends, I've watched them kind of fade away, the ones that weren't for me. And then the ones that for me have been there from the beginning, and they do different jobs. Some of them work 9 to 5, some of them. So it's not about that. It's about, if you love me, you really love me, you know when I'm my happiest.
Yeah.
And if I'm my happiest doing what I love, you will always support that.
Oh my gosh, there was gems. Did you catch that? That's perfect. Absolutely. I 100% agree. And like, my mother used to also tell me, a bright light will always outshine darkness. And again, it's not to say those energies or those people around you are necessarily bad for you, but if they're not for you and they're not aligned with you and your walk, they'll eventually drift off into and find their own space.
Yeah.
So I 100% agree, which I love. So, Javicia, actually, I do life with a wonderful man by the name of Guy Fernandez. He works as a professional stuntman in the business. I've been hearing conversations that he's been having with fellow stunt people and some of the actors that he's doubled for about the business and your industry. So how do you feel about your industry and perhaps it sort of rolling back into normalcy as we sort of like go through this quarantine? Because I'm hearing a whole bunch of things about how there might not be, the film industry might not go back till September, which is a long time from now, it seems. How are you pivoting regarding rumors or how you feel about your industry going back to work?
So, I mean, I can only speak for myself.
Sure.
And my show just ended, so it wasn't coming back for a third season.
Got it.
And if it were to come back for a third season, we wouldn't go back until July. So I would have been in the same kind of limbo state. Yep. But in the same breath, I kind of feel like I've been going so hard for the last 2.5 years, 3 years. Wow. I'm okay with taking this little break.
Right.
And honestly, I think that this I can't speak for everybody, so I do want to keep saying that. But I think this quarantine is kind of making everybody sit down and take a break and just reevaluate the things that are important to them and finding new passions and new hobbies. And I pray for everyone's health and well-being and that they're able to survive through this. But I also pray for like new life, and I pray for a spark of new creativity. And I know that like there's sadness to this, but you know me, I told you my positivity can be annoying because I'm looking at the positive side of it, which is all of us kind of refining ourselves, refining the people we care about, and refining that connection. So, I mean, if the industry has to be shut down till September, it has to be shut down till September. And it just means that when we come back, we ain't got no excuses. Ain't no excuses. When we come back, everybody needs to be ready, show up, and go up.
I love that. I love your positivity is infectious. You give energy like water, flowing water. Like it's okay. If it's gonna be shut down, it's gonna be shut down. And it's actually really refreshing to hear because perhaps it's just like conversations I've been hearing or even like friends and family that like choose to be in a kind of a constant panic state. And I too, I'll admit, I've kind of been like, oh, damn, what are we gonna do? But at the same time, I also recognize that what's going to happen is going to happen. And instead of fighting the unknown, we have to just flow. We have to find a way. And so, again, you hit the nail on the head when you say new creativity and things of that nature, because this is really forcing us just to move differently. And that's okay. Yeah, I love that. Thank you. Thank you for that. So speaking of which, in your downtime, has your downtime, because of the industry being out and the world being out, so to speak, is there anything that you're doing during your spare time that
eating?
More eating?
Eating. No.
We're all eating.
Eating.
You're making sourdough bread?
Okay, so you know what's interesting? I have so many passions, and God knows I have so many passions. And I think that this time has allowed me to truly hone in on the ones that I'm obsessed with and to really see if I'm really that obsessed. And I am. And so I'm obsessed with cooking, and I have been cooking so much and just having so much fun, learning new recipes. And you know what? Everything is in alignment because there was already a health and fitness journey that I was on, and I'm so over buying things that have ingredients in them that aren't necessary because we don't have the time to make them at home. Well, I have the time now. So I'm making everything from scratch. No xanthan gum, no additives, no preservatives. if it, I make it, I eat it, we eat it, we finish it, we leave no leftovers, and if we do, we freeze them and make something else out of them, and it's been so much fun. And I just moved because I moved from New York back to LA, so getting my home together. I'm a first-time homeowner, so that's been fun.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And getting back into fitness, because I did take a few weeks off, but honestly, I needed a break from everything. So I took a few weeks off. So I'm now getting back, and me and my partner are going to like the park and the gym and back to doing our workouts like we do, because he's a trainer. So he's like into it. And I'm just like there for the ride. Huh?
I said for sure. I mean, you've got somebody that knows the know-how, so it's like an easier task. Keep you
so much of an easier task. That, and then I've been obsessed with my craft lately. Well, I'm always obsessed, but just even more. So I'm back in acting class, and we do it through Zoom, and so I have to read plays and digest all of that. So that takes a lot of hours out my day.
Yeah, for sure. Now, going back to being, this newfound cook that you are, can you share something that you made and absolutely loved?
Yeah. So I'm making sourdough, so we'll see how that turns out.
Sourdough, which I love, by the way. I'm a big sourdough fan.
Yes, and I can't have gluten, so it's gluten-free sourdough.
Ooh, even better. Oh, it's guilt-free almost.
Yay!
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anything sweet?
Huh?
Anything sweet?
Have I made anything sweet?
Yeah.
So I like these things called, I don't know if you know, they're called blondies.
Yes. They're like the blondie version of a brownie.
Exactly. So I made a blondie from scratch the other day, and it came out so good. It was nice and chewy. I made granola for Bronze Magazine earlier today on live from scratch, so that was fun. Tonight, I am making, so we went to Barcelona in January, and obviously, like, being stuck in the house was kind of making us, like, get cabin fever. So I was, like, going to bring Barcelona back tonight. And I'm going to make, I'm what you call a pesca vegan. Like, every once in a while, I definitely eat fish and stuff like that. So I'm going to make, I am making, I don't know how to pronounce everything. Patata fudge. They're like Spanish potatoes.
But there's the word fudge in it? That sounds sweet.
No, fudge isn't in it. Fudge is my way. They're like Spanish potatoes with this really, really good aioli on them.
Oh, that sounds so good.
You make from scratch. I have the recipe. They're called patatas bravas.
Okay.
So I'm making
eating good. You are eating good.
I'm going to make those potatoes. I'm going to make gambas al ajillo, which is like garlic shrimp. And I'm going to make bravas lox, which is like a smoked salmon with this really tasty kind of like sweet and spicy sauce that goes over it.
Let me tell you, I'm so glad my boyfriend is not here to hear this conversation, because he's always like, babe, don't you want to learn how to cook something? Don't you? The word from scratch terrifies me. It does. And he's such a griller. He'll grill everything. So it's like he'll grill whatever protein he wants, and I'll whip up some veggies or a nice big salad. But for the most part, I am highly impressed by you, sis. Thank you for being here.
I love some grilled food. Our grill is like closed, but I would love some.
Oh, girl. The grill is actually live right now, and I'm almost positive he'll be grilling some meat to make some tacos tonight. Cinco de Mayo today. So
I'm making sangria tonight.
Spanish theme kind of thing.
Exactly. Just not Mexican theme, but it's close. Not really.
It's close enough. I say it's close enough. Great. So listen, I want to pivot. Most of our viewers are what you say, like fitness and wellness enthusiasts. So in times of quarantine, I want to ask you about self-care. I'm a self-confessed self-care queen and addict. I have 4 beautiful stepsons, and we have like full custody of them. So overnight, I've been this stepmom and with Guy, and it's like nothing but testosterone in my house. It's so important for me to practice self-care. Do you practice self-care, Javicia? And if so, what do you do on a daily or weekly basis?
So one, I think I can do way better. like I bought everything to do it. I just haven't been doing it. But I love taking hot Epsom salt lavender baths. And I'm really into elements. So I'll have the hot water and I'll always have like a candle lit just right to the opposite of the water. So I could have those two elements in there. And then I also have my workout equipment in here for some fitness stuff. And I'll do like Instagram workouts, or Jake will come in here and we'll do some workouts together. And I've been getting back into my Muay Thai, so he teaches that, and that's been fun and very releasing. What else have I been doing for self-care?
Well, honestly, you love cooking, and cooking, as described to me by other people that love to cook, is also very therapeutic. So that could be also self-care as well.
It's so therapeutic and it's so much fun.
Yeah. I know. I feel like I'm missing something. I feel like I really should try better. I really should. I feel like you've inspired me. Maybe I'll learn. I really wanted to learn how to make like a vegan-based, kind of plant-based lasagna. I think would be a good one to learn for such a big family that we have. So
I made plant-based lasagna before, and I made it with so at Whole Foods they have these like frozen almond flour shells.
Oh yeah,
like lasagna.
Okay. Was there eggplant in it?
No, those are just, so they're just the pasta. It's just the pasta. Oh, so I then took Beyond Meat and made the sauce and cut up onions and mushrooms and all that, and I made it. But it was interesting because at the time, I think that I would say this: I don't think Beyond Meat is the best for something that you want to then refrigerate and then eat again the next day, because it doesn't hold, and so it becomes super oily the next time you heat it up.
Oh, got you. Yeah. I actually think I've had experience with that. My sister is vegan. I think there was something left in a Tupperware container that I was like, what happened to this?
Yeah.
That to me. How did it end up? Was it good? Is it worth trying?
Like, I ate it the next day, but it was kind of like, okay.
Okay, you know, so but make the dish, eat it fresh.
The first day was amazing.
Okay, got you.
First day was amazing.
I'm going to attempt this. I'm going to put it on Instagram. Just hold myself accountable. I am going to attempt to make a plant-based lasagna.
You got this. It's so easy.
Accountability.
It's so easy and it's fun. Use eggplant. Eggplant would be so delicious.
Yeah. Okay. I think I could find the fun in it. Maybe I'll play like some old school tunes and just blast it in the kitchen or something. Because
do you eat meat?
I'm a meat eater, but I'm not big on red meat. I eat more seafood than anything. And I don't really care for chicken. So I don't do dairy either. And I say that very loosely. But I'm nowhere near like a vegetarian or a vegan, but very, very limited dairy. And then maybe beef once a month, if that. I'm that person.
Okay.
I'm going to try it. So I'm going to move on. We have a few more questions. And then if you have the time, I'd like to finish and wrap this up with what we call rapid questions. So I'll just ask a bunch of questions that I want. Whatever comes to mind straight away. But before we get into that, I do want to ask you, okay, what is one thing that you miss about our previous normal life, so post-quarantine, that you have adopted or picked up since this quarantine that you think that you'll continue to do post-quarantine life?
Wait, what is one thing I miss?
Well, so perhaps what is something that, you're right, that question didn't come out right at all. What is something, how about this? What is something that you have picked up since having to be stuck at home that you wouldn't normally have done in your post-quarantine life or regular life that you think that you'll carry on doing because you love it so much? I mean, I suppose we've already spoke about cooking, but is there anything else that you think that I'm doing more of now because I have the time? That you will continue doing, say even once you go back to your sort of busy work schedule? Yeah, so
definitely cooking. Like, I didn't have this kind of time before at all, and I've been making a new meal every night.
Love it.
And then 2, I would say, what else is something else that I have been doing?
Oh, someone just said walks outside, and I agree with that. I'm doing outside, meeting the neighbors. I think I'm going to continue doing that because it just feels good.
Yeah, for sure. Oh, we took a ride out to the poppy fields over the weekend. I think long rides, we don't do that enough. I love long rides.
Yes, especially not being from you've been here longer than I have, but I'm still learning California, and it's such a beautiful state. I want to kind of like investigate like the PCH and going north,
Yeah.
all those type of things, right? Have you done any of that?
I have, because I've gone up to like a little past Malibu.
Girl, that's not that far.
I know. Oh, you mean PCH all the way up there?
Oh, I want to go. I want to spend at least 4 hours and discover what's north. At least 4 hours from.
Oh, you don't mean go that way. You mean go the other way.
No, up. I want to go up as if I was driving to like San Fran along the coast.
What?
Like,
I know I've been to Santa Barbara. I don't know if that's like.
Oh, was Santa Barbara north or south?
Girl, I don't know. I'm really not good with directions at all.
So that's when you know you're not from here. But that's a good one. I think I too am going to co-sign on that. I want to be able to explore the city that I live in more.
Yeah.
I'm a Valley girl. I'm here in North Hollywood. And I feel like there's so much to see and do that like hours drive from where we are. So I like that. Good one. Girl, I want to finish up with these rapid questions. Is that okay?
Yeah.
I got some good ones.
Okay. I'm excited. I love games.
All right. So again, these are whatever comes to mind in your truth in the moment. And then they're not crazy. This is like quick questions. And I just say that as a disclaimer because there's been other guests that have come on and then we end up having like these 10-minute conversations based on their answer. So here it is. What is your favorite song or genre to listen to while working out?
R&B. No. My favorite genre is rap. My favorite song is any Kendrick Lamar song.
Woo! Okay, I go some. Smoothies or juices?
Juices.
Okay, me too. Favorite cheat meal?
Anything Mexican.
Anything Mexican. I said it's good. That's not a cheat meal. I eat Mexican throughout the week. Land or water?
Water.
I think, yeah, I said I'm going to know that answer. What would you say your spirit animal is?
Definitely a lion.
Like that. Me too.
No. Definitely a wolf.
A wolf. Interesting. That's
definitely
interesting. How about this one? One person that you would love to have a conversation with.
Right now, Eartha Kitt.
Ooh, yes. Okay. I like that one. It's a unique one. Another actress or actor that you'd like to work with or co-star with? That you haven't already, obviously. Put it out
Forrest
there.
Whitaker.
Who was that?
Forrest Whitaker.
Oh, beautiful. Nice. Okay. Name somebody you admire.
I want to. Yeah.
Pops.
Kerry Washington.
Oh, yes. I love it. The last text you received.
I think that's why she was calling me because she wants to know. I wanted to know what she wanted for Mother's Day.
That is
so.
Lovely.
It says in the plant.
That's perfect. Shower or bath?
Bath.
Okay. For you, this is a good one. A TV series that you're currently binging?
Ooh, Little Fires Everywhere.
Oh my gosh. You are like the 11th person to say you better be watching that. It's so good. I have to get a Hulu account. That's what I need to stop being cheap and get me that. I heard it's really good.
So good.
I'm going to get it.
So good.
Instagram or TikTok?
Instagram.
Okay, perfect. Just a few more, I promise.
No, take your time. You can do as many as you want. This is fun.
You love it? Okay, name one thing you love about your body.
Ooh, that's a good. My legs.
Perfect. Name one thing you love about your personality.
My sense of humor.
Yes. Okay, beautiful, sis. Any unknown talents?
I tap dance, but it's not that unknown. You might be able to find it somewhere on my Instagram.
It's good to know. Okay, tap dance. I love that. And this is for our fitness enthusiasts. Favorite at-home exercise? If you have to work out in home, what is that one move that is always part of your workout?
Definitely abs. So leg lifts, flutters.
Yep.
The ones where you sit up so that way you can get the top part. And squats.
Yeah, perfect. I love it. Okay, sneakers or stilettos?
Sneakers.
All day.
I'm a Jordan head.
All day, all day. Coming towards the end, got 2 more questions. One thing you would tell your 16-year-old self.
Don't conform for anything or anyone.
Yeah.
Be as weird as you think you are.
Yes, I love that. I love weirdness personally.
Yeah.
If someone says, girl, I don't know about her, she was weird, I'm like, ooh, I want to meet her. I love it. Okay, last and final question, and this is my favorite one of all. Name something that is on your bucket list that you haven't yet accomplished.
I don't know if I'm going to do it because I'm so scared. But I've never jumped from a plane like the parachute jumping.
I don't know. I say if it's on the bucket list, you're going to manifest it. And in this lifetime, Javicia, you may do that. I'm going to put it out there. You put it out there. That was you.
I'm so scared. I'm terrified of heights. I think I might have a heart attack before I make it down.
I'm sure this probably happens. But I've also heard that.
Exactly.
Yeah, no, but like I've heard so many. I mean, I have so many friends, and my sisters have all done it. And the way they describe it is almost as if they become speechless. They're like, I'm telling you, the scariest part about it is that first like lean outside of that plane, but it's like euphoria. Like I can't even explain the experience. So that's also on my bucket list, and I too have this fear about it. But I have this feeling that it will happen in my lifetime, just as I believe it will happen for you.
I'm sure I will, because I'm the type of person where it's like I have to do whatever I put my mind to, and I have to do it, unfortunately. But I am definitely terrified because that first initial drop, I know that drop is going to terrify me. But then I also know that as soon as I do it, I'm going to be obsessed, and I'm going to be like, take me back up, I want to do it again, I want to do it again. It's like a roller coaster. But like I'm a roller coaster fiend, and when I went to, I think I did this one this was at Magic Mountain. There's this roller coaster that goes boom, and it goes all the way up, and it sits there for a second, and it goes boom.
Yeah.
But the first one goes off so fast that it usually like scares the shit out of everybody. And so what I have learned to do is I'll be in line and I'll count how many seconds it will be until it goes off. So it's like, usually there's like a tick, and then it will be, let's say it's 5 seconds, and then it will take off. So when it's finally my turn to sit in it, I'll sit in the chair, and I'm like, okay, 5, 4, 3, 2. Let it go. But at least I'm not one of those people that's like, no, whoa.
Yeah, true. You come prepared for the madness.
I come prepared for the madness.
So yeah, I feel like it's gonna happen for you. You'll be prepared to jump out of that plane.
Yeah.
I promise. So listen, Javicia, it is such a pleasure that you carved out time to speak with me. I truly am really grateful for you. Can you please tell people where they can find you?
Well, first of all, thank you for having me. This has been fun. This has been amazing. Keep doing this. This is something we need.
I appreciate it.
And Javicia, add Javicia on everything. So
just first name, right?
Just my first name.
Perfect. As unique and beautiful as it is. Again, sis, I wish you, your family, your partner, strength and health as we kind of like hopefully, march out of this quarantine, because I'm really thinking that we could be coming to the end. We're definitely more in than we are out. But just sending, again, love and positive light to you and yours. And it's such a pleasure to speak with you. I hope that our paths cross somewhere here in LA.
For sure. For sure.
Have a wonderful day, and I hope that your bread turns out amazing.
Thank you.
All right, girl. Have a good one.
Bye.
Bye, y'all.